Hi, this is a video intended for Salman Khan and everyone that's a part of the Khan Academy team, and really everyone that's involved with the Khan Academy in any way, shape, or form. My name is Mark Halberstadt, and I made a video a lot like this last year, and I figured I'd make another one this year. And the reason I'm making it is because I feel very strongly that the Khan Academy has had a very significant impact on my life, and a very significant impact on the trajectory of my life looking forward. So to start off, I want to give you a little bit of background information on myself. Growing up, I was really kind of always a pitiful student. I really never did very well in math and science classes particularly. I don't think I've ever gotten above a B+, and I was really kind of always at like a C level of proficiency, C level of understanding. I got C's in my math and science classes growing up. And it was always really frustrating for me. It was really frustrating for a number of reasons, but for three in particular. The first reason was that it felt like I was really interested in what was going on. You know, growing up, I was really always very interested in electronics and computers and anything that you would plug into a wall. And, you know, it felt like I also understood that if you wanted to have a deeper understanding of any of that type of stuff, of any of that type of equipment, you needed to have a deeper understanding of math and science. And it felt like I was interested, and I wanted to get that, but just wasn't able to. I wasn't able to understand what was going on in those courses. The second reason it was really frustrating was because I felt then, and still do feel now, that I was very fortunate, you know, all through my life, to have been able to learn from some really fantastic teachers. I felt then, and still do feel now, that the teachers I had in math and science classes, and in the courses I wasn't doing well in, were fantastic teachers. I really think that they were really engaged and really wanted me to do better than I was actually doing, and really tried to think of ways that I could be successful. Really tried to think of ways that I could learn the material better than I was, but I still just didn't have the success that I wanted to have. The third reason that it was really frustrating for me was that it always felt like any amount of work that I put into understanding the material faced like this real problem of like diminishing return almost, where it was like any amount of work that I put into an understanding to kind of go beyond a C, any type of work I put into the course to like increase my understanding beyond like a C level, faced like this real problem where like all the work would go into this immense black hole of, you know, stuff that I didn't know, and it was really hard to kind of raise myself up to like even a B level of understanding. And sometimes it was even difficult to maintain a C level of understanding. And this was also, you know, it was also really frustrating because this was, you know, this was in like the slow track of classes. This was in the track of classes where, you know, you didn't get to take calculus in high school, and you didn't get to, you know, go be an engineer later if that's what you choose to do. So, you know, it was, you know, pretty frustrating, you know, the experience I had in those classes. Or it was frustrating to me that I wasn't more successful than I was. So anyway, when I graduated high school, when I was thinking about what I wanted to do in college, one of the things I really enjoyed growing up, and one of the things I felt that I was good at, was playing saxophone. I really enjoyed playing saxophone, really enjoyed music. And I decided when I went to college I was going to get a music degree, and it always sort of felt like I really did want to get the music degree, and I'm glad I got the music degree, and I'm glad I went. But it at the same time felt like there weren't any other options. I was not proficient enough at anything else, especially not anything else, you know, regarding school. I was not proficient enough to study it in college. You know, I felt like it would have been crazy for me to go into engineering school right after I had graduated high school. I would have been, I just wouldn't have been successful. But so anyway, I went and I got a music degree and had a great time. I'm really glad that I got the music degree. I met incredible musicians, incredible people, and had great experiences that, you know, I wouldn't have been able to have had otherwise. And even after I graduated, I was lucky. I got hired by an awesome funk band, and you know, got to play with great people and great musicians, and you know, was really very fortunate. But even then, I kind of still knew, like even right after I graduated from music school, I kind of knew that even though I was having a great time playing, that I really wanted to do other stuff too. I really wanted to have a deeper understanding, maybe some type of a professional life with electronics, with computers, with stuff in science and technology. And it still seemed like this intractable problem. It still seemed like something that I just wasn't going to be able to do. And so anyway, I graduated from music school back around 2007, started working as a saxophone player. And after, at some point in 2007, I kind of decided that I was going to look into maybe trying to study something having to do with engineering. And I kind of thought that the first thing I'm going to see once I get into engineering, once I start trying to become an engineer, is calculus. So I remember I had this calculus textbook, and I took it out and I started going through it, and I felt like there is no way I am ever going to understand the stuff that is in this book. There is no way I am ever going to have any type of success or understanding of what's going on here. And so, I was flipping through it and I tried to read it from page 1 and just felt like completely lost and completely dejected, and it just wasn't going to work out. And so anyway, I did that one day, and then the next day I just had an idea that, maybe I would look for something on YouTube. Maybe there is, if I do an internet search or if I do a YouTube search, maybe I'll find something that'll help, that'll kind of help me, at least be able to understand the stuff that was in the calculus book. So anyway, I went to YouTube. This was, I think, around like the fall of 2007. I went to YouTube, and the last thing I remember from school completely not understanding was trig identities. So I went to YouTube, I did a search for trig identities, and the Khan Academy was the first thing that popped up. And I watched a few different videos on trig identities and on trigonometry, and then I clicked on the Khan Academy channel, and I realized that there's a whole collection of videos on trig. And I kind of realized it's starting from the very basics of trig and going all the way through stuff that I completely don't get and completely understand. And I kind of realized that what it was an opportunity for me to say I don't have to settle for a C level of understanding. If I want to get, right now, if I want to start working on this, I can get an A level. I can get a great level of understanding of trigonometry right now. So anyway, that's essentially what I did. When I found the Khan Academy channel, I watched a bunch of videos in the trig playlist. And in addition to the trig playlist, I saw there's a calculus playlist. There was I don't know if there was a chemistry playlist at the time, but there was lots of algebra videos. There was lots of videos on arithmetic, and I kind of started watching a bunch of those videos, and I realized that I can watch this and not settle for the C understanding anymore. I can watch these videos and I can watch them as much as I want until I understand the concepts as well as I can, until I understand the concepts completely. And so anyway, that was in fall of 2007. I spent about 3 years doing that. I spent about 3 years watching videos and also working as a saxophone player at the same time. And in the fall of 2010, I decided to take a leap, and I decided to get into a degree program. And I decided to go to Temple University studying electrical engineering. And I guess I'm making this video now. I made a video exactly like this last year. I'm making this one now this year because I've now just completed my second year back in school. And keep in mind, I've never gotten above a a C level of understanding in any math and science type of courses, or at least not growing up. And I've just now completed my second year back in school studying electrical engineering. And I've been able to keep a 4.0 GPA for 2 years. So that is, it's really been kind of surreal for me. It's really been, it's the type of thing that doesn't happen on its own. It's the type of thing that, it requires some type of external force, some type of external event to make something like that happen for me. And even one of the incredible things that, I guess I wanted to talk about for the video, I know I talked about, doing well in school and everything in the video last year, and I've continued to do well, but the interesting thing now this year is that it's almost like I've been able to get involved in some really interesting projects that I've kind of like wanted to, I've kind of wanted to be involved with, for as long as I can remember. Like one of the things I did this year, I got involved. There's a lab at Temple. It's called, I can never remember the name. It's called the Student Space Exploration and Environmental Systems Laboratory. And I was working under an excellent faculty advisor, and I was part of a team that designed a robot that went to a NASA competition. It was the NASA Lunobotics competition, and that's like stuff that I've wanted to do for like forever. That's like stuff that I've wanted to do since I was like 7, and thought that I would never be able to do. And it's like I got to like help build a robot that went to a competition at NASA. So it was it's really been an incredible year, and I think that it's something that I feel very strongly that I've had great teachers at Temple. I've had great teachers all my life, including at Temple. I think the teachers here are great and the students are great, and I've always had a great support system to help me go through it. But one of the things that I think really made it so I felt I could take the leap and could go back to school was the Khan Academy. Like my memory of math classes and science classes and school in general growing up is me sitting at the dining room table, it being 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm banging my head against the wall trying to figure out how to do some problem. The book is not helping, or I can't decipher what's going on in the book, and the assignment's due in 6 hours, and I feel like doomed. And if I thought that that's what school would be like again, that I'm going to go back to school and again experience something like that, I would have never gone. Like being able to not settle for a C understanding, being able to use the Khan Academy resources to get a deep understanding, to get some type of proficiency is really what gave me the confidence to get back into school. And I'm really grateful for that. I guess I wanted to make a video to say thanks, because it's really been it's been an incredible ride over the past 2 years. And I've gotten to work on got to meet incredible people, got to work on really interesting projects, and these are projects that I've wanted to do forever. These are things that I've like big goals in my life that I've kind of wanted to do, and without the help that I got from the Khan Academy, I think that they would still have been completely inaccessible to me, or even if they weren't inaccessible, I wouldn't have tried. Like I wouldn't have gone back to school if I had thought that school was going to be like high school again, or if I thought that it would be like a similar experience being in a math and science class where I've got no idea what's going on. The teacher, has got no idea why I don't have any idea what's going on. Anyway, I just wanted to make a video to say thanks. The Khan Academy has helped me immensely. It's been, it's been a really significant force in my life, and so anyway, I just wanted to say thanks from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.